going all retro this week. So we've got the Kawasaki KLE 500. Looks like an absolute beast. You can see how big it is in comparison to little old me behind it. Let's just have a look round it, usual way. I'll show you things I like, things I don't. Let's go. Now, what do you guys think styling wise? Got the spoke wheels. I can confirm I've done a brake test, which you'll see during the test ride, and the brakes on this are outstanding. Really, really good. Stops really sharply. Just what you want. The exhaust looks like it's the standard exhaust, no aftermarket stuff in there, but it sounds nice. Tyres, loads and loads of grip left on the tyres, loads of tread left. So orange indicators at the back. They've not opted for the clear lenses, that's what everyone tends to do nowadays. Chain drive. No centre stand though, just the side stand on this. And that's our view all the way around. The Mickey Mouse ears, but they're actually quite big. They seem to be larger than the average ones, so the view behind is actually really good, really practical mirrors. Buttons wise, just standard. It's an older bike, so you kind of just get the industry standard. So we've got your horn, your indicator, your high-low beam, we've got your flash button in the usual place. It does have the manual choke as well. Not needed today because it's a scorcher. Right hand side, again, not a lot. We've just got your engine start and we've got your engine cut off. Adjustable levers down here, so that's always good. It saves you having to add them yourselves. We've got the knuckle guards as well, but they are just plastic and quite flimsy, so I don't know how well they're going to protect your levers and things. I don't know. You tell me if you've had one of these bikes with that type of lever, if you've ever dropped it, how did they get on? Let me know in the comments. Very old school. So this is for you youngsters, this is what TFT screens used to look like. So we've just got the old school dials on here and a bit of a different colour, but it suits the bike because it looks like a similar colour to the frame of the bike. We've got it miles per hour on the outside, kilometres in the middle. You can see there it's done just under 6,500 miles, which for a bike of this type, that's nothing really. These bikes will go for a long time if you look after them. Got separate rev meter over that side, and then here we've just got a couple of your warning lights. And this just seems really tiny, so I don't know how much use that actually is. I think if you're going on a long tour, you might have to change that for something a little bit taller. It looks nice from the front, but from the back it just looks a little bit small and weedy. So one thing I do like with this bike, obviously with me stood behind it, it looks massive. Certainly the back end, because it's a lot higher. But I can actually flat foot on this bike on both sides. So you can see, I'm flat foot on both sides. For a shorter rider like me, it dips at the front, so if you are short in the leg, you move to the front of the seat, you can flat foot it. But when you're riding, there is nothing wrong, and it actually feels quite comfortable as well, and I'll do it on the test ride to show you. But you can move yourself backwards and just park yourself here, and it doesn't feel strange. It feels like a completely different riding position when you sat on the bike, and it's nice. It's a really good way of kind of just altering your position so you don't start feeling sore for a long ride, so it's really good for that. Now, because of the nature of this bike, during the test ride I'll stand up on it as well, so I'll see how it fares when you stand up, because you can see with the wheels this bike's made to go and get dirty as well. You will be standing up on it, and I'll show you exactly how that feels and how it fares. So that's the walk round done. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. This bike is for sale with Into Moto, so whilst I am going to test it, I'm not going to take it off road today. I'm not going to do anything that has potential to damage it, because it's a bike that's for sale. If you're interested in this bike, don't forget, I'll put details in the description for Into Moto, so just give those guys a call if you're interested. Let's just go and have a test ride, shall we? I'll show you how it feels and if I would recommend you buy it. Let's go. Cobble test. The engine feels nice. So the little fella like me can sit fairly forward in the seat, or you can park your backside back a bit if you are on the larger side. I like to stretch my legs out a bit, so you can just kind of shuffle back a bit on the seat, and it feels like a completely different bike. The seating position just changes. It does feel like it's got quite a lot of power reserve in the tank as well. If I need it, I know it's available. See what it's like on this sharp left bend. Yeah, it's nice and smooth around the bends. It's quite a sharp bend, that one, and no issues at all with it. It's just really comfortable, like a small adventure bike. So I'm going to do the stand-up test, reserved for this type of bike. Oh, that's actually really nice, you know. I can straighten my legs. I'm not overstretching for the bars. The bars don't feel like they are too low or too high. They actually feel in a nice position for me. So let's try both the brakes together. Yeah, that is really sharp. Really sharp, to a point of I felt my full body weight going forward because of the braking was that sharp. So that's really good. Impressive braking. So let's see how easy it is to just maneuver around using your feet, because it is quite a big heavy lump, and you know what, that's really easy. Absolutely no issue with that at all. The power delivery is nice and smooth. It's not rapid by any stretch, but you can feel it's got enough. Only thing I would say is that is a little bit short, and even doing a 30-40 mile an hour road, you do feel the wind. It is comfortable, it goes through the gears nicely, no issues with that. Something that looks the way it does, it's very quiet. Your neighbours will love it, especially if you're starting it up early hours of the morning. They probably won't even notice because it is relatively quiet. And I can't really hear the engine, I can't really hear the exhaust while I'm just riding normally. Oh. I was talking about fuel. So clearly what's happened with this bike just then was it's ran out of fuel on me. Luckily it's got a nice little reserve switch on the side, so just a little changeover on that and happy days. Well, panic over, because I was panicking just then. I thought I'd run out of fuel, and in effect I had, because it cut out on me and wouldn't start, so I panicked. But then I've just put the reserve fuel tank on and we're away again. So fortunately I'm not far from the garage, but again, this is why you need fuel gauges, because I thought I'd broke down and I hadn't. It had just ran out of fuel. What a bugger. Oh, panic over though. I thought I was in for the long push then back to the garage. Fortunately, it was just a fuel issue. So, let's just talk about this bike. The things I don't like. The fuel gauge being numero uno. That is the first thing for me. I don't like bikes that haven't got fuel gauges. I find it frustrating. I know you get used to it, and I know there's still loads of bikes out there. I've had loads of bikes without fuel gauges. I just find it frustrating that you don't get one. Comfort wise on this bike, very comfortable seat. It suits me. It would suit somebody much taller as well, because of the ability to just slide back a little bit in the seat. So if you have got longer legs, you'd have no issues doing that whatsoever. For a bike to do long rides on, again, wouldn't be an issue, this bike, because it is so comfortable and it is built to go anywhere. You've got a nice bit of tread on these tyres. I'm sure it'd be fine for some green laning. I'm sure people have done some serious tours on this type of bike. Going round the bends, nice and smooth, no issues. Everything seems to work as it should. So yeah, as far as would I buy it, I would say I would definitely consider it if I was looking for this type of bike, because it does have a nice amount of power. Styling wise, it looks quite nice, and it's considerably cheaper, isn't it, than the newer alternatives. So if you are working on a budget, then this might be something for you. Catch you on the next one. See you later, fellas and ladies, of course. Bye.